Hello friends, Jeff here from Squadron. Welcome back to another segment of the build of the F-14A Tomcat. So let's get started. Scraping is not always a bad thing if you have your scalpel or your scraper, but in this case it's better with a scalpel that you make a couple of smooth motions back and forth, and that will take more material off without damaging the panel lines. It's with the sanding that you sometimes run into a problem if you sand too much, but again, in some cases it's necessary. Okay, now we're smoothing this up. As you can tell, I'm making, it looks like I'm really sanding very heavily here, but it's a very fine, it's probably like 1,000 or 1,200 grit of sandpaper on the sanding stick. I don't think, it doesn't really do anything. It just takes most of the scratches out and buffs the area here just to make everything smooth. This looks pretty good. I'm sure everybody went through this. Once we had to clean up this seam, some parts of the panel lines is gone. It's gone, especially where the seam is at and especially where the curve gets into the highest point of the curve. There is always a little tiny area where the panel line is completely eliminated. Now there are many things to repair that. You can have like a scriber or something, but I found out that sometimes by putting your knife on there very gently and very accurate and just make this motion, like pressing it in there like this, you make that it's most of the time it's enough. Just be careful, try to stay in between the panel lines, try to go from one panel line to the other, and then when you clean it up with a sponge, with this multi-pad here, you can see the panel line is back. You might have to smoothen out the excess a little bit more, but the panel line is completely restored. Now this doesn't work all the time, and it doesn't work on big surfaces, but on wing angles or on wing curvatures, or where you have to glue the top half of the wing together, the result is pretty decent. As long as you line the panel lines up with each other, like for instance you start here and then make a little, what you basically do is press an incision in there without cutting. You just hold it there and try to maneuver by making this curved motion. Try to stay from one end of the panel line and try to make it to the other. Just try to line them up. Take your time. Maybe you have to do it a few times to make a cut in there, but still you're pushing into the plastic, therefore creating an incision. And then when you clean the excess around it up, sand it up a little, smooth it out, your panel line is restored. And it might not look that way, but once you paint it, you will see that it's completely there where you want it. Luckily, in this case, there's only a few, and it's very, very easy to do. It's good that you, once in a while in between sessions, you look over part you built or the assembly, and sometimes you find stuff you overlooked the first time. Like in this case, I remember in the previous session we had to glue the top fuselage on the bottom fuselage, and then there was a little bit of glue that came out of these back panel lines when I applied the tape. Forgot to clean that up. It's very good when you look at your work several times over. So once you start airbrushing, you don't want to get into a situation like this where you have a little bit of a mess, and then there's nothing you can do anymore. Before you start painting, just give it an overall look. There's always something you find that you can correct. Okay, it's worked out pretty well. Now let's get back to the intakes. Let's see if the putty is dry. Go in there with a medium. Try not to damage the points because those things are very, very visible. I think the putty is not completely dry. Usually it takes like an hour or something, and so I might to put that away. I might to leave it out there for another hour or so and do it next time. In the meantime, we can do some other preparational work. We can start looking at the engines here and then decide which version to make. As you can tell, Tamiya has the option again with the open nozzles and the closed nozzles. So like full AB or just regular. So I'm gonna go for this assembly for the open nozzle. Let's do that. And then we can put the wings together and then have it done for as far as this section. So we're gonna fix the engines and then we're gonna glue both wings together. Okay, I have to push this all the way in there. Secure it on the back with some weld. And then we have to attach this to the front. As I mentioned, I opted for the open position. This is something you might think about in painting it first before assembly, but I'm gonna try, or at least just assemble it and deal with it afterwards. I think there is enough room in there to do it after the assembly. But again, that's up to you guys if you want to do it before or after. When you hold these pieces together, you can see the craftsmanship that went behind the engineering. Let me test fit this. And I'm just gonna see if they fit, which I have no doubt. We'll see how it looks. And again, perfect matchup. I'll do the other side now. The assembly of the whole kit seems very straightforward. It goes also very quickly. It advances a lot faster than some kits that I built in the past. Also because of the engineering, you know, there is almost no cleanup, there is no puttying whatsoever to speak of. Whatever you cut off and clean and glue, just add on. You don't have to come back and sand stuff or repair it, or the whole build is straightforward. Very easy to do even for a beginner. This is a high-tech kit, and still somebody who is a novice in this hobby can easily do it without any complications. Okay, now we have both engines put together. I'm gonna leave this piece off a little until the glue is dry, because I have to sand on both sides to get the seam away, and once I glued it on, it gets a little bit more complicated, so I'm gonna put this aside until it's dry, and I'll take care of that on a later time. Okay, I noticed these little pieces here I almost forgot. So again, to my point, sometimes it's good to overlook the stages that you already built, because there's always something that you forgot or forgot to take care of. In this case, I forgot these little tiny intake caps. Alright, then I think we're ready now for the wings. So far we got step 1 all the way to step 19. We finally reached where we can assemble the wings. And then we're gonna call it a day for this session. I just want to get those wings together so we can glue them, tape them, and then when we come back the glue will be dried up and we can sand. Then we can move on. First, let's do the wings. Again, when you look at the wings itself, you can see the paneling, it's so beautifully done, almost no cleanup, so it's going to be very easy to glue those together. So it's also very important that when you clean up the stubs that you don't cut into the wing itself. Just take your time doing that because it's very delicate. There you have it, the wing. It's perfect fit, doesn't even need tape. So I'm gonna put these away, and I'm gonna do the other side, the left side. Meanwhile, that's it. There's not much we can do for now. Some stuff has to dry, and when we come back, we'll do some more construction. So that's it for now. Okay, guys, that was it for now. Visit us soon on our website at Squadron TV for the next chapter in the build. You can also like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or subscribe to YouTube or Squadron TV itself. That way you'll get notifications when a new chapter is put up. So that was it for now. Jeff E here, signing off.